The most important finance news today. Antivirus entrepreneur John McAfee found dead in Spanish prison. His extradition to the US on tax charges had been approved hours earlier. Authorities say he has died by apparent suicide. Microsoft reaches a $2 trillion market cap. The Redmond, Washington-based tech giant trails only Apple among the world's most valuable companies. Apple became the first publicly traded US company to reach the $2 trillion mark in August. Fellow Seattle area giant Amazon, valued Tuesday at $1.77 trillion, is also approaching the $2 trillion club. The company reached the $2 trillion milestone just over 2 years after it first passed the $1 trillion market cap mark. COVID-19 helped get it there. The pandemic meant people were spending more time on their devices, boosting demand for Microsoft's computers, gaming systems, and cloud computing platform. And a stock market rally, along with the success of tech companies in particular, lifted its shares. The post-coronavirus economic recovery is set to be the fastest in decades, with the US growing at 6.4% annualized rate in the first quarter, the second-best quarterly reading since 2003. But it also comes with quirks perplexing economists and policymakers in some ways, including the state of labor and financial markets, the role of government stimulus, and inflation. I believe through the rest of the year to see higher inflation rates, maybe around 3%, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said earlier. Later, the White House has pushed back on narratives that inflation threatened to stifle the country's economic recovery. Emily Simons, a spokesperson for the White House, told USA Today that President Joe Biden's economic plan is working. She cited downward trends in COVID-19 cases and deaths and positive economic activity. And due to the size, if American economy itself, positive worldwide economic activity.
This year and next, we expect above-trend economic growth, and the earnings momentum and the earnings leverage for these areas are still positive. So what we told clients on last Friday during the sell-off was to step back into the value trade as a whole.
Bitcoin continued to rebound from its lows for the year this week. The cryptocurrency sank below the key $30,000 threshold, Tuesday at one point briefly erasing all its 2021 gains. It later recovered to turn positive for the day. On Wednesday, Bitcoin surged 18%, climbing back above the $34,000 mark in early morning trading, according to Coinmetrics data. It last changed hands at $33,641.27, up 3% on the day. The drop comes a day after the People's Bank of China ordered the country's major financial institutions to stop trading crypto transactions and signals an end of the 4-week-long consolidation between $30,000 and $40,000. Bitcoin's rise in the last 12 months has had a lot to do with the billionaires and corporations that are buying Bitcoin in big amounts. The surge in interest from mainstream financial players has not only reformed Bitcoin's image, but has also fomented a supply shortage, which helped drive up the price of the token. But since the price of Bitcoin peaked over $63,000 in April, the last few months have been rough for the world's biggest cryptocurrency. China's countrywide crackdown on the nation's Bitcoin miners certainly isn't helping. More than half the world's Bitcoin miners are in China, and Beijing has made it clear that it wants them out. In May, the government called for a severe crackdown on Bitcoin mining and trading, setting off what's been dubbed the Great Mining Migration. But the Federal Reserve decisions this month also influenced.
We, obviously have seen quite a bit of volatility in crypto as of late. And as you mentioned, it's been a very strong market in 2020. And I think we had a lot of macro factors that were driving us higher and great stories. And I think that kind of turned in Q2, obviously, of 2021. And what we've seen with the latest sell-off is over the last week when we had the Fed announcement, I think a lot of risk assets and a lot of folks that took the Fed's commentary and the dot plot specific as potentially looking at more hawkish view on what it could mean for their policy. And I think some risk assets got hurt by that. And I think that was, crypto included.
Bank of Israel has already tested a digital shekel. The officials said they're not optimistic about an Israeli CBDC being launched. The bank is trying out Ethereum's technology in a recently launched internal digital shekel trial, a spokesman said. The bank has also put out a call for smart application ideas that could run on the digital infrastructure. Ethereum was the first blockchain to host fully functioning computer programs known as smart contracts that allow users to create new cryptocurrencies. John McAfee, the founder of the antivirus software McAfee, has died by apparent suicide while awaiting extradition to the United States on tax-related criminal charges. McAfee's lawyer told the Reuters news agency on Wednesday evening that McAfee had apparently hanged himself in his prison cell. McAfee was arrested in Spain in October after being indicted in the United States for tax evasion months earlier. He allegedly failed to file taxes for 4 years, despite earning millions in income between 2014 and 2018 from promoting cryptocurrencies, consulting work, speaking engagements, and selling the rights to his life story for a documentary, according to court documents. He twice made long-shot runs for the US presidency and was a participant in Libertarian Party presidential debates in 2016. Recently, McAfee had actively wrote his musings on politics and tech on Twitter. He frequently touted cryptocurrency and said, "Crypto is the key to unlocking our prisons." McAfee later said he lost his entire crypto fortune. "The US believes I have hidden crypto. I wish I did, but it has dissolved through the many hands of Team McAfee," he tweeted. "My friends evaporated through fear of association. I have nothing, yet I regret nothing."